Earth Easy, and today we're assembling a natural cedar elevated planter. So the first thing you want to do is lay all your parts out, make sure you've got the correct number of each item and that they are the correct length, and then double check you've got the screws, which should be included, some wood glue for the dowels, which will be included, and a mallet is helpful for hammering these dowels in. A power drill is great with a number 2 Phillips bit. If you don't have that, a hand driver works just as well. Tape measure, definitely crucial for double checking that everything is the right length and ensuring your measurements are correct. And a square is great for ensuring that the top trim is nice and square and just making sure everything fits together well. Once you've got everything laid out, you're ready to go to the first step of assembly. Step 1 is attaching the leg blocks to the 4 leg corners. So I like to find the staples and position them on the inside so they're not visible. And you want them vertical so that the line is here. Once you've got them lined up, you can take the included screws with your Phillips head number 2 bit and put 1 screw in each side. So when I do this, I like to hold it nice and flush on the bottom, nice and tight, and then screw it in like so. And when I'm screwing these in, because it's red cedar, I like to set the setting pretty low on the driver so that you don't screw too deep into the soft red cedar and damage it. And it's nice to go back over when you're done and just tighten the screws again to make them flush with the wood. Step 2 is to attach the beams to the leg blocks. So those beams should have a G or a letter marked on the end. So you'll take one and they'll have the staples. You want those staples facing inwards. So we'll go ahead, take this, place it on top of the leg blocks. And this again, staples, you want those facing inwards. It's got the letter on the end, G, so we'll put that on top of the leg blocks. Tighten everything up. And then we can get ready to screw them in. So for step 3, we're going to assemble the first layer of sideboards. So we'll take a nice long sideboard, pick the nicest looking side that you want facing outwards, and you're going to put it on top with a notch facing up. Once you have the first layer of boards installed, you can take your corner pins and put them through. Now that you have the 4 corner pins in, you just need to screw 2 screws per leg into the sideboards. So for step 4, we're putting the bottom slats down. First thing you do is find the 2 that have letters on them. These will be the ones at the ends. They'll have little cutouts, and those cutouts face inside. So we'll take this guy and put it here, and this one and put it here. Once they're in, then you'll space out the rest of the bottom slats inside, and they're not all drilled. Only the middle one will be need to be screwed down. The rest can just float freely and be spaced out inside. So once you have all your slats down, then you're going to screw the 2 ends and the middle one, which are all pre-drilled with pilot holes. Step 5 is to assemble the remaining sideboard layers. So when you're putting these sideboards on, you can kind of bend these pins out to try to get them lined up. And then you'll find that when you're putting this down, it can be a little bit tight. That's where it's really helpful to use the mallet to kind of knock lock these in. So once you've got all your sideboards installed, definitely knock them down as much as possible to get them all settled and make sure there's no cracks. And then you're going to install 2 screws, 1 in each corner for each one of the boards. And when you do that, it's helpful to grab the sideboard and pull it together, make it sure it's nice and tight, and get that in there. So for step 6, we want to lay out our top trim and get it ready to install. So we'll take some wood glue and we'll put the wood glue on our dowels, which it's an optional step, but it does add more stability and security to the top trim. So we can add some wood glue, put the dowels into the pre-drilled holes on the trim, and then you can line it up with the other trim and fit it in there and do that all the way around. So once you have the dowels in on all the corners, then you want to center this top trim so that it overhangs about a ½ inch on all sides. I like to do that by feel. You can just grab the corners and kind of move it around until it feels good. And then once you're happy with the overhang on all the 4 corners, then you just screw down while holding the corners together. So pull that. So that's it, we've finished the assembly of the planter. Now that you have it assembled, we recommend putting a lighter potting soil in this, not heavy gardening soil. And you don't need to add a layer of gravel or anything to the bottom because the bottom slats have those slots in them to let water drain out. So there's no need to put any bottom layer of pebbles or gravel, just light potting soil. And leave a couple inches at the top so that you've got room for the soil to settle and add any mulching it might need or any other amendments later on.